Yes, here we are on a Monday, a brand new week, but an old rivalry resumes. I'm talking about the Battle of Iberia. I'm talking about the round of 16 clash between Portugal and Spain at 12:30 p.m. AM, I should say, IST, with the AM and PM being confusing to me, with all my sleep being deprived. I'm here refreshed and rejuvenated to give you a preview and lots more in what's been a humdinger of a World Cup. On the pitch, it's been phenomenal. Off it, a lot of controversies brewing. We'll talk about what Donald Trump had to say in his latest press conference to revoke that Balogun's red card. And not to forget, lots more chuckles along the way, including what I'm planning to do with the Jersey shop guy and how I met a random Belgian at a bar in Bangalore discussing his prospects tonight against the US of A. Already good to see the comments. Sharat Divine 9546 saying CR7, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, man. I'm not wearing a Ronaldo 7 jersey. This is, of course, when he played for Sporting Lisbon. It's the old Ronaldo jersey, the number 28. Found it in Thailand somewhere and picked it up for myself earlier last year. Portugal has got to win it, saying N Gaming 279. Good to see you. Saying hi, sir. And Sanjay, always good to see you. You're going to go and say this one to get started in the comments. I'm so sad because since this World Cup started, I was supporting England and Norway, and now they both face each other, and I don't know which team to support. We will unpick what happened against Mexico and, of course, England. It's been phenomenal. I've been trying to, of course, just handle all the last-minute live stuff here, so pardon me for looking down quite a bit. Hemant Guru saying we don't have any Kannada streamers doing football live content. It'll be good to see you in Kannada. You ask me questions in Kannada, I will answer it in Kannada, especially football ones as well. I will try my best. Hunter saying hello. Hello to all of you guys. Right, let's start with the Portugal-Spain preview, guys, because what are your predictions? My predictions, I'm not very confident as a Portugal fan, let's be honest, and hence I've titled this thumbnail, "Come on, boys, will the real Portugal please stand up?" Now, I say that because I still back what I've been saying the entire World Cup. I still believe they have the best three midfielders in the world, even though they've not stepped up. They're the best left back in the world. And, of course, Ronaldo has unfinished business. Whether he gets a goal or not remains to be seen. But he did score against Spain in that Nations League final against them in 2025. And I presume the game might actually be a repeat of that. Now, if you guys remember that game, Spain went 1-0 up. I think it was Zubamendi. And then Nuno Mendes scored an absolute brilliant goal from a left-back position. Go watch the highlights of that game just to whet your appetite more heading into tonight's game at Dallas. And it just makes you think whether Portugal will actually relish the fact that Spain will hold the ball more so they can counter, especially with Leao and Conceição on the right. Maybe Pedro Neto starts as well. Remember, Roberto Martinez made those 4 ballsy substitutions. At the time, I really didn't like it. And I would still, in hindsight, say it wasn't the best of decisions. Eventually, he kind of got the header of Gonzalo Ramos to prove him right. But my point with Portugal is if they're going to combat Spain, especially the 3 midfielders that Spain have who control and dictate proceedings, it's almost like shadow pressing, if you guys know what that means. So basically, it's going to be 4-3-3, 4-3-3 both sides. And I know Spain kind of tend to play with inverted wingers with a false line compared to what Portugal play with inverted wingers, but a target man in Ronaldo. Meanwhile, shout out to Daily Life Journey 1968, a special one loading today, he goes on to say. And as an England fan, I support Spain because I don't want England to face Portugal, saying Sanjay. Keep your comments coming through. Kevin Praneeth saying 0-0. Explain your reasons why. I don't think it'll be a drab affair, even though Spain, you might be making some sense there, Kevin, because if you look at the XG this year in the World Cup, Spain are remarkable. 0.90 of an XG, which is unreal. And that just goes to show how well they've kind of kept clean sheets. Remember, the best goalkeeper in the Premier League doesn't even start for them. It's Unai Simon, who's got 4. And I think no other goalkeeper has got 4 in terms of Spanish history in the World Cup. I think Zenga was the previous one, and he was, of course, equalized that record. Portugal is going to win tomorrow. Hopefully, man, fingers crossed. Because, look, I know Spain are the European champions. And they are going to be coming with some pizzazz because Orzabal as well might not really give you an intimidating figure as a striker, but he can score. He's already scored this World Cup. He's already got 2 man of the matches. He already scored as well in that Euro final, if my memory serves me right. So he's going to be a handful up front. Lamine Yamal, or Lakshmi Amma, as we love to call him in India, I honestly feel the law of averages might help him tonight. because he's been rather quiet. And if he has one hell of a game, and I'm hoping he doesn't, because we all know the threat he poses, right? Not just him, but his fellow Barca man in Danny Olmo, who plays amazing intricate passes through the lines. So those two are going to be phenomenal. Don't forget the man on the left-hand side for Spain this campaign. They lost Nico Williams due to injury, and I don't think they have Jeremy Pino. I think those are the two changes that they've players that they don't have at their disposal. There are a few players who didn't train on Friday for them. Pedro Porro, the right back, Lamine Lamal as well, was one of them. And I think two other Spanish players didn't train, but they should be given the get-go from the start. And the Spanish manager knows that he has tons of people to bring off on the bench as well. Ozabal is better. Nuno Mendes will play good with that Lakshmi Ramal. I mean, honestly, I'm predicting a very good game for Nuno Mendes. If he has a good game, not just keeping Lamal very quiet, but bombing up and down, because Pedro Porro, even though he scored in the last game against Austria, I feel there's a chink in that armor for the Spanish defense. People might come back at me and say, what are you talking about? They haven't conceded a goal in their last 4 games. How do you expect Portugal to score against them? Who've kind of looked bleak themselves in moments of this World Cup. Against Colombia, they drew a blank. And not to forget, they did not create that many chances against DR Congo and the other team in their group. So, I mean, Uzbekistan, they beat 5-0. But like with Croatia, sure, they got the goals, one through Ronaldo, the penalty, and then the last-minute header through Gonzalo Ramos. So if you break down Portugal's attacking prowess this World Cup, it's up in there to see. But again, football is so unpredictable that you can just probably have one night to really catapult the momentum. And Portugal need that one night, because João Neves, Vitinha, and Bruno have been pulling my hair out saying they need to find some sort of synergy and connection there, because Bruno looks way off it. I've never seen Bruno look so off it ever in the last 5-6 years. And I'm a United fan, so I know exactly what's he bringing every game, what kind of shift he puts in every game, and what kind of positions he gets into every game. So at United, obviously, it's a different role, but I would like Bruno to somehow instill magic. And we saw it in Croatia. I mean, the first 10 minutes of that game, Portugal were actually phenomenal, right? The 60 minutes in the middle was obviously a shit show, and I feel it was very drab. What are your thoughts about Norway, Brazil? I'll come to all of that 100% once I finish the Portugal-Spain preview as well. Him and Guru saying 3-2 Portugal, Bruno with 2 assists. I would kiss you through the screen if that's right. Hunter, are you from Tamil Nadu? You guys can have that chat by yourselves. Bruno will score the goal of the tournament today. Arba Sheikh, I mean, again, what they say in Hindi, aapke muh mein ghee shakar. If that happens, it happens, man. It'll be brilliant. Hi, Avinash, sir. Yesterday I met you and mentioned you in the story. Can you put it in the story saying Pakugara vlogs? I will. I'm really sorry. I haven't looked at my phone. I've just uploaded reels and then just gone off it on a busy Monday. But keep your comments coming through. Kevin Praneeth also asking about my thoughts on Neymar's retirement and whether Haaland will go on to win the final after taking the blood off the Brazilians. Very good question. I'll keep all those questions with regards to me reviewing the games that we saw yesterday, because phenomenal. And not to forget a little bonus preview and review of the Argentina game, which went on, and of course what they do tomorrow against Egypt. So lots more in this live, and presumably go get a dinner and tune in, because another 10, 15, 20 minutes for sure I'm going to be with you. Right. So I'd mentioned you. Yeah, I took that one. I will definitely try to add you in my story, Pakugara, no worries. And I was there watching the Maharaja Premier League in flesh and met some really, really interesting people, which I will definitely put out in terms of deals. Will you please give an analysis of Roberto Martinez and what he's trying to do? Now, Hemant, I've always believed Roberto Martinez is a Spanish Southgate. Now, I think if you look at what he's done with this Portugal team, because they have phenomenal players, he gets away with it. Sure, you can point at the fact that he's been phenomenal in qualifying, but when you look at some of the European teams and who they play, it's not really going to be compared to what you're going to face in the World Cup, right? So he's been exposed. Many people thought that he had the rub of the green by throwing Ramos on, by taking Ronaldo off for Ruben Neves. And look, he has to kind of take the shots, because obviously you're a manager. You can't really let the players dictate terms of the pitch. But the 4 substitutions he made was baffling at the time, because Croatia went 1-0 up. And I'm thinking to myself, After Ronaldo scored that penalty, you have the momentum. Why would you do that? But it proved dividends in the end. His style and philosophy has been what we've seen with various teams of the past, whether it's been with Wigan way back in the day or Everton and so on and so forth. He does like a tight 4-3-3. Now, he's always played with preferably a target man up front. He's not necessarily played with inverted wingers, but he likes width. So sometimes, even if you look at Leao on the left, or if they play Felix, or if they play Neto on the right / Conceição, both them really like to kind of touch and hug the touchline. So essentially what I'm trying to say is it creates much more opportunity for people like Vitinha, Bruno to arrive late in the box, and of course Ronaldo at least occupying 2 or 3 centre backs, because we saw that even when teams sat back against Portugal, it was tough for them to kind of break it down. So hoping Spain today, even though they will hold a lot more possession, you can't hit them on the break, because they would like to just hen you into your sort of area. And even though Ronaldo is not the quickest, he has potency on the wings and he gets into fine positions. It could be a very, very good game in terms of counter-attacking possibilities. Don't know where's players like Nani and Quaresma disappeared. I mean, they were phenomenal. I remember a Quaresma goal, I think it was the Euros, where he bends it out. No, it was actually in the World Cup. In the World Cup, maybe 2018. You know what I'm talking about. I think against Iran, outside of his foot, top right corner, was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. Hey, what's your prediction for tomorrow's match? I'll come to Argentina, Egypt in a bit, because I don't think, and look at the way it is panned out for United fans and / Messi haters. I'm not a Messi hater, because that would just be pushing it, but I would now rely on Salah to do something to stop Messi and company. But Argentina are looking fantastic. And as much as we might want to have our own biases and subjective opinions, we got to call a spade, and more on them in just a bit. But Portugal, Spain, my final couple of takes here on this one. My prediction, wait for it, is 1-1, goes to extra time. And we either win it in extra time, that's Portugal, or it goes to penalties and Spain win it. Beg your pardon, Portugal win it. I hope the slip of the tongue doesn't make them actually win it. But 1-1, 5-4 on pens to Portugal, or 1-1 and then a winner for Portugal in the extra time. Spain to score first, but don't ever rule Portugal to get back an equalizer, because even though they've been shambolic, we've seen stranger things happen in the World Cup. So what's the entire 90 minutes? It's not as bad as yesterday's games, which was 2 a.m. kickoff and then a 5:30 a.m. kickoff. But today will be pretty peaceful. The second game, I'm pretty sure no one will watch, even though it would be a very, very good game, Switzerland, Colombia as well. And if I do manage to stay up, I'll probably watch that. But it's a tough... Sorry, not Switzerland, Colombia. What I'm saying, Belgium, USA, beg your pardon. Okay, Switzerland, Colombia is tomorrow, I should say. That whole left flag has to come good, saying Akash. Thank you, Akash, for joining this live. And please smash a like, tell a friend about the Heg Day Everyday Live. And we are here to talk about anything football, cricket, sport, essentially, because I'm trying to build a community indeed. Outbound Portugal will need face France in the semis. Imagine that semi-final lineup. If England beat Norway and Argentina get past Egypt and Colombia, then it'll be Argentina, England, France, Portugal. It'll be honestly one hell of a World Cup final for that. And then we know what we want, a Ronaldo-Messi final or an Mbappe-Kane final and the battle of the English Channel. You never know. You never know. Do you think Ronaldo could be called the GOAT if he never wins a World Cup? Look, there's a bit of debate about that. And I feel with Ronaldo and Messi, they obviously both go to the game. Obviously, with Messi winning that World Cup, you would tend to kind of say, oh, yeah, he's just like surpassed Ronaldo in terms of trophies and so on and so forth. And I feel the last 3-4 years for Messi has been phenomenal. Not just the Copa America prior to the World Cup, then the Copa America after the World Cup. So they've been phenomenal since the 2019 season, Argentina. And Argentina also have a very clear philosophy throughout the history of their football team. You've always relied on 1 or 2 great players, and the rest of the 8-9 lads are just possessed playing for those 2 players. So it's inevitable that they kind of reach the Final Four, maybe the Final 2 again, but I would love it if Colombia/Egypt put them out. It'll be absolutely brilliant. But obviously, this is coming from a Ronaldo fan, and we all have our own inclines, but again, do I think Ronaldo is going to be less of a GOAT than Messi? Maybe not, because what Ronaldo's done for the entirety of his career and the longevity of the sport and the impact he's created in the sport, not just, you can't measure greatness just by goals and assists. And Ronaldo's right up there. He's, in fact, got more goals than Messi, but that's not the chat we're having here. And again, if I back Ronaldo up, that doesn't mean I have a dig at Messi. I'm just saying what they've done. And again, this is not me sitting on the fence. What they've done is transcended football. Let's make no mistake. The other day, you're looking at an Argentine football screening in India. You're just going to see Messi jersey. Similar with the Portugal screening in India, you're going to see only Ronaldo jersey. It's almost like that Kohli Dhoni effect that we've seen as cricket fans in India that you're seeing with Ronaldo and Messi. And the debate will always go on. Now, if Ronaldo wins the World Cup, they both have same amount of World Cups. And it'll just be incredible to see then if Messi fans suddenly be like, oh yeah, the debate's back on. Because a lot of Messi fans believe that the debate ended in 2012, let alone 2022, which is, I think, a touch harsh because both of them are banging goals at ridiculous rates at that point in time in their career. So it is what it is. Arbaz, prime Messi is better than prime Ronaldo. And again, if you look at prime Messi, prime Ronaldo, they both have different skills that you bring to a football match. Now, certain things Messi can do on the pitch that Ronaldo can't. And there's certain things Ronaldo can do on the pitch that Messi can't. And it is what it is. Now, sure, many people might argue that Messi has way better dribbling skills than Ronaldo. But if you look at Ronaldo and peak Ronaldo, he shot from so many different angles, whether it was dead balls or just going for it. The power of the man can't be compared to Messi. And Messi obviously has a rocket of a left foot, don't get me wrong. But if you look at the peaks of their shooting ability, I would probably give Ronaldo a mark there. Similarly with aerial ability. And again, naturally, Messi is much more shorter and diminutive, and hence he has the fantastic dribbling ability. But Ronaldo, left foot, right foot, stick it in the air, and then you probably kind of get a couple of headed goals as well. So it is what it is. Anyway, I'm tangenting right now with this Ronaldo-Messi chat, but Maddie going on to say, what are your thoughts about the match, Portugal-Spain? I've just given a whole lowdown. I think it's going to be nip and tuck, even though Spain have been very, very good, very solid at the back. But I think they could be cause problems on the right-hand side with Nuno Mendes having his hands full. I mean, Lamine Yamal curtailing the youngster itself is going to be a task, let alone going up and popping in balls for Ronaldo and the right winger coming in far post. So let's see how it's going to unfold. I don't expect any changes from Portugal's lineup against Croatia. I think they'll start with the same team that they did. Spain, they were superb against Austria, I think their best game in the tournament, even though they dismantled Saudi. They got the 1-0 against Uruguay. So I feel generally, on paper, it's hard to separate the teams. But on form, Spain for me, of course. But it's not just about form sometimes. Momentum in the game, vibes, you never know how it's going to kind of unfold. That goal from reverse kick of Cristiano Ronaldo was only enough to show who's better, saying Arbaz. I mean, see, Messi's also scored some bangers, right? And Ronaldo, of course, you look at even in his United days, the kind of free kicks he used to produce, probably unheard of from players these days in terms of the whip, the dip, not even the whip, because he had like the whole aerodynamic technique where he's just targeting the center of the ball where it's just in and above the wall. So it's a brilliant sort of technique. But again, whether Ronaldo gets a free kick and does what he did in the 2018 World Cup remains to be seen. That'll be a mad moment if Ronaldo fans would like to look at it that way. More questions, which I will definitely take, because you guys definitely asked me about the games which went on yesterday, which I'll tell you about. Yes, here we are on a Monday. Sorry, it's all going off. It's all going off my phone. I want to tell that Ronaldo and Messi both have different play styles, saying Maddie and that 08 season, man, you had to be there. Yeah, that 08 season was ridiculously good. I mean, everyone talks about Bale, Benzema, Ronaldo, and Messi, Suarez, Neymar, but I feel Tevez, Rooney, Ronaldo, probably the deadliest front three I've seen personally. I know you guys might beg to differ, but let me know in the chat. Please smash a like and tell a friend. We already have a new subscriber, Azaril HW. Perfect, thank you. And hope you're having a good start to your week, my friend. Who are you backing tonight? Who do you support in general? Let me know. Right, so that was Portugal-Spain. My predictions, like I said, 1-1, and Portugal would win it either on penalties 5-4 or at extra time. but Spain to score first tonight. I hope I'm wrong about Spain scoring first tonight, but I just want to see Ronaldo through, and I just want to see an incredible final grandstand finish in this FIFA World Cup, right? There were two great games yesterday. If you guys missed it, you really are missing out in life in terms of football viewing, because this World Cup has probably already been one of the best World Cups for me. And I'll come to the controversy with Trump, like I said at the top of the show, but the footballing matters yesterday. How good were Norway? How good were Norway? And even though Haaland scored two phenomenal goals, different goals, showing exactly what he brings to the party, how good was the goalkeeper, Nyland? Man of the match for me. Man of the match, even though didn't keep the clean sheet in the end, and Neymar was slagging him off and really trying to play villain before he goes out in his last World Cup. Nyland was phenomenal, and Haaland, of course. But there's another player I'd like to definitely mention for Norway, which I've loved throughout this World Cup, and that is the boy Nusa. On the left wing, he has incredibly gifted feet. We talk about France's front four and how nifty and nimble and agile they are. This boy, Nusa, you watch out for him because he's phenomenal. And I think he's going to cause England a lot of problems because obviously the right back position of England, I think, is haunted. Maybe it's just jinxed because everyone they play there either has a shit game or gets injured or gets sent off in Kwanzaa's case, which I'll come to in a bit. But Brazil, Norway, how good were Norway? Norway were unlucky not to kind of go 1-0 up with that disallowed goal because it was a tight offside. But they just kept doing the right things. And many people would say the Brazilian midfield lacks legs. Casemiro is not the same Casemiro that he was. Of course, he had a decent year for United, but he expects much more coverage in the center of the park. Bruno Guimaraes had a game to forget, missed a penalty, missed another great chance against Ireland. Even though that was offside, I think his confidence was there and it was sapping minute by minute into that game. Carlo Ancelotti tried everything, and he got on Neymar, he got on Endrick. Endrick had a fantastic chance, but then when it mattered the most, Haaland had his piece against Gabriel, and very disappointed with Gabriel as well because you don't kind of give him that space because they've played each other so many times in terms of the Premier League, City, Arsenal, and that's been a well-documented rivalry in terms of a centre-back and a centre-forward. But Haaland won that contest yesterday, and I wouldn't be surprised if Haaland scores against England again. And there's a bit of me which hates Haaland for City, obviously, but likes Haaland for Norway in terms of the story they're brewing with their fans and rowing and all of it. So it's coming together very nicely for the Scandinavians. And even the end, when they do the drums and the fans, it was just brilliant. And Haaland's dad was having his time of his life, by the way. And why wouldn't he? Because his son scored. They put Brazil out of the World Cup. They've been holding on to a 1998 memory for all these years in a World Cup. Haaland wasn't even born then. So he's probably made his own history, the best piece of history, which will be remembered for all eternity. So it's going to be mad. Are you going to do a watch along saying Maddie? I mean, I wanted to, and I was actually asked my sister, and she was like, just have fun. If Portugal go through, then you probably do a watch along. Now, I would do a watch along if Portugal beat Spain. And I know I love doing watch alongs because I've done many for cricket.com, and it's not as challenging as one supposes it to be. But I will definitely get a watch along soon. Or rather sooner rather than later, I should say. So anyway, come back to Brazil, Norway, incredible. So Norway, funnily enough, they've still remained, lossless. They've never been beaten by Brazil, which is insane. And that's the one team in FIFA history that Brazil have not been able to beat. So that's a fun fact on a Monday night. Maddie, you have Instagram. These guys are just going off in the chat. Love it. Absolutely love it. Tell a friend about the hegdeeveryday Live. Tell your friends to join, and you guys can have this own little party in the comments and random opinions, because that's what builds sport and conversations after all. Right, Mexico, England. We probably need a whole separate podcast on this because, boy, wasn't it worth staying up till 5:30. Sure, the first half of the game wasn't as much as we expected it to be, but you could sense the palpitation in the stadium. You could sense the nervousness amongst the players because, of course, what had gone on before this fixture in terms of kickoff times weather conditions, fan safety, all of that. There was a little bit of tension in the first half an hour of the pitch. There was a couple of good saves that Pickford made, and Raul Jimenez was an absolute threat. Had, I think, over 10, 15 shots in the game, but he was really unlucky to just score the odd one. But Mexico really gave it a whole run for their money, hell for leather in the end. And many people thought that any moment that they're going to go down in the box, the referee's got to give a penalty. They gave Mexico a penalty to make it 2-3, but Bellingham and Kane just showing why they are right now world superstars. One place for Bayern Munich, scored 72 goals and counting this season. One place for Real Madrid, and he's just oozing class. There was a moment in time in this game, sure, he scored 2 goals, but the one moment which stood out for me with Bellingham is he takes on 2 Mexican players, sends them to a hot dog stand, takes in another guy on, beats him, runs out of centre back, nearly takes him on and then has a shot. And that could have been incredible, because on this very pitch, or rather this very stadium, we've seen Maradona do it against England, and I was hoping Bellingham would probably have an end product, but wasn't to be. It was a brilliant bit of skill. But Kane, again, phenomenal for him to score, take his tally up to, 6 now in the World Cup, to join the rest of the other lads who are on 7 in terms of Mbappe, Haaland, and Messi. Ronaldo's already in 7 in terms of CR7 in it, but he'll come good. He'll definitely come good. But jokes apart, was it a penalty for England? It was. There was a moment where I thought, is it offside? Because the goalkeeper launches it. Kane, arguably offside. They didn't really show it in replays. Gets a flick on for Gordon, who then, of course, goes around the keeper, gets taken down. But then I'm thinking to myself, was that a penalty? It was a penalty, but was it offside more importantly? And they didn't check that. So England did get that goal, I think 10, 15 minutes in that second half, which was perfect for them. They went 3-1 up. What wasn't perfect was just before that, they lost the man, Kwanzaa, which was definitely a red card for me. High on the shins, can't argue that. And the referee did get that one right, I should say. But kudos to Mexico, not just their players, the entire country, the team. They went really well in this World Cup. Let's be fair, because what they did in the group stage to get out without any hiccups, phenomenal. And of course, they beat Ecuador and now England, which is always going to be a stiff challenge. And let's see, they've never lost in that stadium since 2013. Now they have after 13 years, but they'll always remember that defeat. It wasn't a glorious defeat, but a classic World Cup match, like you guys have heard on every channel and probably read on every portal waking up this morning. Super. I am going to just finish off this particular live by giving you a small preview of Argentina, Egypt, even though I'll talk about it in greater depth tomorrow. Let me just actually check out what the timings are for tomorrow's games. Also, Argentina, Egypt's happening at 9:30. So I might just do a very early live, guys. I might just do a live around 8:30 and preview the Argentina game, probably preview the India-England game, because Shreyas Iyer and company have not had any success in their UK sojourn so far. Lost to Ireland 2-0, and they lost to Bethel and company. I mean, Bishna was pissed poor, which I'll talk about later as well. But point is, right here, right now, Argentina, Egypt. Do I have any hope in Egypt? No. It has to be a moment of brilliance from Salah. But Argentina is such a well-oiled machine right now. It's incredible to see how Egypt can get past them. I love Lisandro Martinez. I think he's my favorite player in that Argentina team. Obviously, people will say Messi. I'm not a big Messi fan for right reasons, wrong reasons. You guys could debate. But point is, I see Argentina win that game. I think they'll have definitely a problem against Colombia. If Colombia managed to beat Switzerland, if they manage to beat Egypt, that's a mouth-watering South American World Cup quarterfinal. And those two have been the best teams in South America. You look at the last 4 or 5 years, and Colombia also have an incredible energy in that team right now. So Argentina win to me. I'll talk about that in greater depth tomorrow, like I said, with the India-England game, and lots more tomorrow. Let me take some comments right now before I go off. Hello, Hegde brother. Remember me, Nima Bengaluru Hudga, from your last live. Namaskara. House of discussion, Hegidara. who you supported today. Portugal get that up, Spain get that up. I don't know, penalties most probably agate. What are your thoughts about Norway after beating Brazil? I just spoke about it, Maddie. I think phenomenal for their country, for their players. What a shot of confidence in their arm to go into that quarterfinal, whether they face, or now they will face England because, of course, they beat Mexico yesterday. So it'll be a very, very nip and tuck game. I think England might struggle, but might win ugly on the 9th. But depends on Haaland, Odegaard. And like I said, my favorite Norwegian player this World Cup has been Nusa. Phenomenal indeed. John Calvin 5584, that's a new name in the chat. I really admire how dedicated you are to content creation and live streaming. I know it takes a lot of time, energy, and patience, and you keep showing up with passion. Your hard work is noticeable. Thank you, John. That makes me feel incredibly nice at the start of the week. And sometimes it's not about the results, it's about the process. You've heard that cliche in sport. The famous main man, MS Dhoni, once said it. But if you actually break it down in life, whether it's the gym or whether it's your office work or whether it's content creation like me or whether it's building relationships with people in your life, it comes down to what exactly you said. Keep doing it consistently, and you'll definitely reap the dividends eventually. And I'm sure it'll pay off. Keep believing in yourself. I've got this. Yeah, I mean, it paid off for Instagram rather for me. And touch wood, heading to 90K subscribers very shortly, hopefully 100K as well. But I want to build a completely different thing on YouTube here. That's why I'm expecting all you guys to be my messengers and spread the Heg Day Everyday live platform through word of mouth. Just share it, like it, subscribe, and trust me, I'll probably get you guys on as well. What I have in mind is probably bring back a good call-in show. We haven't got a good call-in show since the early 2000s in this country, and maybe I should get a new number and then ask everyone to call in and have their thoughts. It'll be phenomenal, right? Time to wrap up because it's gone over half an hour and I'm going to have to kind of go out to watch tonight's proceedings. So just going to say that to you all. But of course, lots of reactions during the game from me on my Instagram. I'll try to keep abreast with the app because obviously I'll be so synced into the game. Sometimes I might forget to post the odd story or two. How's the discussion saying Sue always? Absolutely. And do you see anyone beating France? Asking Ishan Ashwin. Welcome to the chat, Ishan Ashwin, 2439. Right now, hand in heart, I don't see anyone beating France. What they've got, again, is an electricity up front. Mbappe is at the peak of his powers. He's taken to this World Cup format competition, the gold trophy, like his girlfriend. Like he just wants it beyond belief. He got robbed of it 4 years ago. He wants it now. They're doing it for the manager because the manager's also taken them to 3 fucking finals. Apologize for my moment of outburst over there. But just try to stress how good the French are. And Viva le Bleu. Viva le Bleu is what a lot of people are predicting this year. But who knows? One off day takes one bad day and you can lose the competition. Remember how India did lose it? No, don't want to remind you all, but 2023 ODI World Cup, we can definitely get the thing. Since how long have you been doing this content creation, saying Hut KCD phone 2837? I've been doing it, I mean, personally for the last 5-6 months. YouTube I started 1 month ago. Insta I started 6 months ago, shot up to 90K. Before that, I've been a sports journalist and anchor, sports anchor, worked for a company called cricket.com. All of it, which you guys can see on my YouTube channel in terms of how I had my news days, my anchoring journey, so on and so forth. I wouldn't want to touch upon it right now because lots of times when new people come to this chat, it's that same old question. So go check that episode out and tell a friend about this whole page. Remember us, bro, we are the OG, saying Sanjay. I will always remember Sanjay for sure. And Maddie saying if France will reach the finals, they will have to face Argentina again. Yeah, they will have to face Argentina again. Let's see if it's a repeat of the final. Time to say goodbye to you guys. Remember, also, before I end tonight's show, don't tell me in the comments right now. Tell me in the... don't tell me in the live chats right now, but tell me in the comments after the show saying which jersey should I surprise people with in Bengaluru. Now, that is my next piece of content that I want to offer on Instagram. Tell me in the comments. Until the next time, it's a goodbye. Shiva, sorry, I have to end it. You missed it, but go rewind it and check out everything. Okay, go on, say something, Shiva. I'll wait for you because you kindly asking that you have something to say. Waiting for you, buddy. Waiting for Shiva so I can press the end stream button. He's typing, I'm guessing. I mean, it's crazy how sometimes you're trying to build a community and you kind of pander to each and everyone's comments, and that's how it should be. Whether you have 120K subscribers or 12, that's the way forward. Shiva, you going to say something, or can I actually politely leave? I was just trying to hang in there. Okay, he's going on to say it. Rob, a huge fan of your work. Hope you remember me from your live streams. Have thought about Portugal. Going to split it into a few messages because YouTube won't let me send me all. Okay, sure. I mean, I'll wait because obviously you have something to say, and I feel like I've put this podcast together for people like you in the chat to always have your comments. And ultimately, that's what it's all about, engagement and difference of opinion, especially with sport. I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of guys killing me in the comments if Portugal lose tonight, but I don't think they're going to lose tonight. And I feel there is a positive vibe. Ronaldo in his press conference looked very confident, I should say, correction. And he's always been like that, don't get me wrong, always kind of brings it on him before he just silences the world, and hopefully it's another one night like that. Bruno has that aura at United, and Vitinha controls everything at PSG, and those are the main guys, he says. I feel Portugal's biggest issue is that Ronaldo naturally becomes the center of attention. Everyone looks at him, which is understandable, but at their clubs, players like Bruno and Vitinha are the main guys. Give Portugal your jerseys in Bangalore. That's the reason why we love you. Thank you. Super, good points mentioned, and I spoke about it at the top of the show with Bruno and Vitinha, because Bruno plays a completely different game with regards to United now. And it's not like Ronaldo's the center of the attention, and that whole story that you guys always kind of want to paint. You give Ronaldo service, he will score. And let's make no mistake about that. Even that Uzbekistan game, he got 2 chances, but like half chances. And many people said he should have left it for Bruno. Sure, sometimes you do have a feeling that it could be yours and it could not be yours. So because it's Ronaldo, it's going to be highlighted even more. I think if he does get 2 chances tonight, he's scoring. He's scoring one of those 2. And even the Portugal-Croatia game, the penalty at that moment in time was crucial. It's critical. Ronaldo has missed penalties before, but stepped up, very, very cool, put it away. Thank you for that comment, Shiva. I really appreciate it. And that's why we love you, bro. So down to earth, so humble. Tumida kola yavatu tulu kola. I mean, I have no idea what that is. I mean, sometimes I like to read Kannada, but like sometimes I'm just like, I read so fast that I butcher the language. Apologies. Sorry. Belgium and USA, who's going to win? I didn't even speak about the controversy. Shit. Anyway, so if you guys have not been following the news, Balogun, who of course is a striker for the USA, got sent off. Rightly or wrongly, you guys can debate, because it was similar to what Messi did in one of the earlier games. But if I say that, I will of course be ostracized in the comments. So I would like to believe that there's no pressure for Balogun going into this one, but the US should win this game. And I know many people will be backing Belgium, because even the Belgian Football Association were absolutely shocked in terms of the government intervention in terms of Trump. And I feel what Trump as well has done is unprecedented. When have you seen it last? I don't think it's ever happened in a FIFA World Cup where a FIFA member has its government interfere in on-field matters. And the last time I saw Article 57 or 27 or whatever it is in the FIFA rule book, they're supposed to be suspended. But Gianni Infantino and, of course, Trump, supposedly good mates. And it was one call for Trump for FIFA to revoke that red card. It was shocking indeed. Just my opinion, though. Love your comment, bro. No worries. I appreciate all you guys joining me right now, right here. It was a 40-minute live. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Fingers crossed Portugal will win tonight. Let's see. I'll come back tomorrow, and you guys can either banter me if Spain win, or we celebrate together in Tuesday's live. Thank you so much for watching. It's a goodbye from me. Have a great start to your week, guys. Whatever you guys do, and tell a friend about Heg Day Every Day and my live YouTube channel. Thank you. Love you guys. And bye to Sanjay. Bye to everyone. We're getting it home. Portugal has everything to win for the 21 and number 7. My girlfriend is from Portugal. And it's going to be crazy. Amazing. Great vibes. And like you said, hitting the nail on the head with that comment. And it's a perfect way to end the show. Cheers, guys. Love you. See you soon.